Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Smith's Kitchen. Brian, Mr. Smith Kitchen, as always. And tonight I thought we would cook a really cool dish. I got it off the Rachel Ray. I saw it on her show and I looked up the recipe that she has on her website. Plus I follow, I'm on Facebook with her and all that cool stuff. But it's called a Cassoulet chicken and sausage with beans. And it's pretty much what it has in it. But it is an amazing dish, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of reading off of the website, but it's a stew basically, and the original dish she did like a cheater version. It's a one-pan version. Not that the original takes much more than one pan. It takes one pan in a Dutch oven, but the original is very labor intensive. This one not so much. It does have a lot of moving parts. It is not a hard dish, but one that it takes a little bit of time, even for being a quick dish. So this would be a good Sunday meal. If you're having family over, friends over, you want a good, kind of impressive dish, because this has got a lot of good stuff in it. It just takes a minute, so to speak. But that being said, it's originally done up. You put everything into a Dutch oven, and then you put it in the oven with breadcrumbs on top of it, and you cook it for a few hours. This one, not so much. We're going to do it all up in a cast iron, a large cast iron. Matter of fact, I'm using my chicken fryer. It's the biggest, tallest cast iron I have. And which I guess you could do this in a Dutch oven also, but her recipe seems to move a little quicker once you get all the prep and parts together. So anyhow, let's not waste any time as far as that goes talking about it. But it is a French dish. I'm not big. I've never done French cooking. But that being said, if you are new to my channel, welcome. If this is your first video, I hope you get something out of this. Check out some of my other ones. If you're returning, thank you. If you have been returning and you subscribed, thank you. I'm glad you joined. And our neighborhood is growing in leaps and bounds. If this is your first video, my videos are basically about food, most aspects of food. We do a lot of cooking dinners and a lot of baking things, but when it comes time to garden, we'll do some gardening. We're currently working on remodeling the basement to put a kitchen in there, and then the kitchen we're standing in now upstairs is going to expand and change also. We got a lot on our plate for this into this winter, spring, and into fall, and you guys will get to see some of it. I'm trying to put together a video as I go with the basement, so you guys can kind of see its transformation, and that'll be out. Part of it will be out soon, but anyhow, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And like I said, if you are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. I do hope you consider joining our neighborhood. We do make a lot of good things around here. Stuff that you can share with your neighbors, your families, make some new friends, or a significant other, loved one, however whoever you want to share it with. So, that being said, let's get down to the counter so we can get started on this wonderful dish. It's going to involve some sausages, it's going to involve some chicken, both chicken breast and chicken thighs, just a lot of parts. So, down to the counter we go. Hold on for me 1 second. Alright, we're down here to the counter, the counter / stove area. If you are new to my channel, you're pretty much looking at the whole kitchen. You are standing right by the back door as we speak. But for this dish, very first thing we're going to need is a large skillet. Preferably cast iron, but it doesn't have to be. If you don't have cast iron, don't rush out to get one. But we're going to turn this on, we're going to warm it up. And because I forgot, it's got some warmth to it now because I made what's called a demi-glace. And if you live in a bigger town, you can buy this at the grocery store. For whatever reason, my grocery stores don't carry it. I do live in a small town though, and I find that our grocery stores, even though they're national chains, don't always carry everything you can find. Or you can find it on Amazon, I'm sure, if you plan ahead. But I made what's called a quick demi-glace, or a substitute for it, and that way I have it. It's basically just a super concentrated broth. But anyhow, let me get this warmed up, and then we will start cooking some meats. Okay, pan's warmed up. So the first thing I did was I got some Italian sausage, and she recommended pork or lamb and something mild with a little bit of garlic flavor in it. Now, she also recommended fresh garlic or fresh sausage. I cannot find fresh sausage anywhere. The butcher wasn't open when I was out, so I wasn't able to get it. So I did what I could, and I got fresh mild pork Italian sausage. I'm gonna go ahead and get these in here. She called for 4 lengths. I'm doing 5 because these aren't as long as a normal Italian sausage would be if you got them at the butcher. And I'm gonna pour some water in here to about a quarter inch. And I'm gonna let these cook until they are browned and the water is all gone. That's the very first step on this. I did poke several holes with a knife in these sausages so they will cook. All right, so we're taking our sausages, poking holes in them, putting them in our skillet on medium-high heat, quarter inch of water across it, and we're going to cook them and turn them until the water is gone and they are browned and mostly cooked. Okay, so we got our sausages cooked, and I temp them so that I know that they're 165 degrees minimum and they're ready to go. So now I have some pancetta, which is just a French ham, and it is chopped up finely, you know, and that way we can get it going. And we're going to go ahead and throw this in the same pan. Yeah, we're not cleaning nothing out. I mean, as you can see, we're smoking to beat the band. And we're just going to give this a light, you know, a quick cook, couple minutes, get it okay, we got it nice and browned up, looking good. Then we'll just take this and we're going to put this on the same pan that we got the sausage on. Now the sausage, as soon as we get the next meat in here, we're going to cut that into thirds on the bias at an angle, which will be awesome. But what we're doing is, yeah, you're saying, wow, Brian, you're burning everything, but I'm not burning anything, actually. And what I'm doing is all that bits and stuff that's on there is nothing but flavor. So the next thing we're going to put in our pan is I've got 4 boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and I've got 3 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And we're gonna cook these up in 2 parts in here. And we're going to try to get them browned on each side. We don't want to crowd the pan. So, I mean, if it takes you doing it with 3 pieces, you know, or in 3 sections, do it in 3 sections. You know, don't rush this. You know, but we're just gonna cook the chicken both sides till they're brown on both sides. Okay, now we got our chicken done up, our sausage done up, our yeah, geez, Pete, my brain is fried today. Pancetta done up. So we've got our ham, we've got our sausage, we've got our chicken done. Now, I don't think I mentioned it when I started doing the chicken up, was you want to salt and pepper it as you put it in the pan. And by cutting it on the bias, that's what I mean by cutting it on the bias. See how it's angled? I just went ahead and did it for sake of time, so to speak. So you guys aren't just sit there and watch me cut up sausage, that'd be boring. Alright, so now, next to the pan, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of oil, just like such. I'm using a virgin olive oil, you know, really good olive oil. And then I'm going to add, I have 2 things of celery chopped up right there. I've got 2 carrots chopped up, finely chopped. And then I've got 2 small onions, or you could use 1 medium to large onion. And we're going to put those in there. We're going to cook them down until they're soft. Alright, and they'll have a little color to them and be soft. While we're cooking these down so we can get them to sweat, we're going to add some salt and pepper. Just a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. That'll get these to sweat while they're cooking down and softening up. And it's going to take, you know, 3-4 minutes for those to get that way. Okay, we've got our celery, carrots, and onions nice and soft. Next thing we're going to add to this is 6 cloves of garlic, and we've got those minced up. Yeah, we want them just pulverized, basically. But I ran mine through my my garlic press, you know, because I'm lazy and don't like to chop it up. Garlic gets sticky when you work with it. Not a fan of the stickiness for whatever reason. And we're just gonna let this cook with our 2 bay leaves. I've got 2 bay leaves. Now if you can find 1 large bay leaf, awesome. And then we're gonna add, I'm gonna put in 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. If you have fresh thyme, put in about 2 teaspoons worth. You know, with dried herbs, it's half of what fresh herbs would be. For whatever reason, the grocery store was out of fresh thyme today. So I just went with dry thyme. We're gonna put those in there. We're gonna let that all hang out in here for about a minute. Let that garlic wake up. Let the spice, you know, the thyme and the bay leaf start to do their thing. Okay, so we are awake and alive and everything is rocking in here. The next thing we're gonna add to this is the demi-glace that I made earlier because I couldn't find any. If you want the recipe, it's just a demi-glace substitute. I'll leave it in the description down below. It's really easy to make. You can make demi-glace, I just didn't have all the stuff to make it with, but I found this substitute that works. Alright, got that in there, got that stirred up. Now, the next thing we're going to add is 1 cup of white wine. Alright, we're going to put that in there. And what all this is doing, what these liquids are doing, is getting all those bits off the bottom to just add all that flavor. There is so much flavor on the bottom of this pan right now. So now that we've got our, sorry I had to look real quick, now that we've got our wine in there, we've got our demi-glace in there, we're going to let this simmer until it reduces down to about half. And then we'll go ahead and add the rest of our stuff into it. Okay, so we are down by half. We've reduced our sauce, our wine, and our demi-glace. Glaze. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get these bay leaves out of there before I forget. They've done their job. They've added their flavor. So the next thing we're going to add to this is 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Get that stirred in. Then we're going to add 1 cup of bone broth. This is chicken bone broth. And the difference between regular chicken broth and bone broth is this is super concentrated. You know, when we made chicken broth a while back and, you know, we let it cook down for, you know, 6, 8 hours, 12 hours, this stuff goes for a day, you know, and just cooks for 24 hours. So we'll go ahead and get that poured in there, and it's so much richer and so much full of flavor. Yeah, not that making regular chicken broth is bad by any means. It has plenty of flavor, but this is like the difference between college and pro, so to speak. And if you buy it on the store shelf, it's a lot more expensive. All right, so we got that in there. I am going to get the rest of the tomato sauce out of there because, or tomato paste out of there, because it's bugging me to waste it. Got that out of there. Now, the last thing we need to add ingredient-wise is our cannellini beans. All right, you want to use a white bean. There's and I'll leave it down in the ingredients list. There's a couple, 2, 3 different white beans you could use. I just don't remember the names of them right offhand, like a borlotti bean or something like that. But we like cannellini beans, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those in there. And I drained them. It's just 1 can, 1 14-ounce can. And it's probably the one thing that we don't can ourselves is we do white beans for chili, but not any other way. So we've got all our ingredients in here. So the last couple things we have to do, this is the fun part, is we're just going to put our meats back in. So we've got our chicken breasts, our chicken thighs, our sausage, and our, I don't know why I can never remember the name of that ham, pancetta into the pan. and we get this in here, and it's okay to crowd at this point. Everything's cooked. Yeah, we're not doing any wrong. And this is a wonderful, I mean, this looks like a wonderful stew. And so far, everything has turned out amazing. But we'll get that all in there. And I imagine this is the part where, because I don't think when you make it the traditional way, you actually cook any of the meat first. I think it just goes in the Dutch oven with the sauces, and then you put the breadcrumbs over it, and it says you cook it until the bread is browned and it is bubbling around the edges, and I guess that takes hours. So, that being said, but what we're going to do now, we're going to let this sit here, bring it up to a simmer, and let it simmer for about 5-10 minutes until the juices thicken up. Okay, we went ahead, I let it cook down for about 10 minutes and pulled it off, put it on a hot plate. That way we could do what we would normally do, and that's let it sit here and settle, right? Because we can't eat it when it first comes off. We would burn our faces off as always. So we'll let it sit for, we let it sit for about 5-10 minutes. Meanwhile, I got to clean up what little bit I had going on there. But there we are, right? Sorry, I'm still getting used to my camera. Everything's backwards. But right there we are. That is our Cassoulet chicken and sausage with beans. I'm here to tell, I wish you could be here because it smells absolutely amazing. And it looks fantastic. I think Rachel Ray would be proud of me. I could be completely wrong, but I think she would be. So now let's get some in a bowl here. And we're just simply going to have this with some bread. It was recommended that it be served with baguettes, but for whatever reason, our store was out of them, and I don't have the means to make it. But there we are, right there in our bowl, looking beautiful, I think. So now all we got to do is give it a try. And like I said, this is based on a stew, so it will have its stew-like qualities, although I don't think it has quite as much broth to it as like a traditional stew would. Let me get you up here where we can talk to each other face to face, and I can even back the camera up a little bit, I guess, because I can do that now. Wrong way, there we go. All right. But it's a cheap version of this dish is what she made, and I can tell you the chicken is so tender, it's just falling apart, but I do want to get in here and get some of this broth with it so I can give it a try. But let's see how she tastes, right? Oh. I'm here to tell you that is quite the delicious. This dish just smacks you right in the face with flavor. Holy cow, is it amazing. Just everything. I mean, everything all at once, very well balanced. That's a heck of a dish. Holy moly. You've got to try this. You won't be disappointed. Is it a quick, easy weeknight meal? No, not really. Is this, I've got family coming in, or I just want to have a nice dinner with my family that's at home, or I have friends coming over for dinner, maybe a nice glass of wine with this, because this would go really well with that white wine that we used a cup of, I think. Hands down, try this. Give this a try. You won't be disappointed. The only things I would recommend with this, the only thing I would change, she had you cut all the meats into thirds. I think with the fact that we don't cook it in the oven for hours on end to like a slow cooker, I would cut them up a little smaller. I would almost do dare I say, a chunk versus cutting your whole sections into thirds. I would almost, not dice it, but maybe big cubes. I think that would take it a little further, because even though the meat is tender, and it is tender, that chicken just, my spoon went right through it. I think it would be more manageable for all age groups if it was cubed. Other than that, I wouldn't change a thing in this recipe. It's amazing. So I'm gonna take this out to the table so we can eat with the bread and enjoy some company and some quiet time with my family. Let me know if you try this, please, and do so. Give it a try. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. And leave me a comment down below about it, or jump over to our Facebook group, Mr. Smith's Kitchen on Facebook, and let us know there. You know, take some pictures of it. Let us see what it looks like. I think that would be awesome. Tomorrow, I don't know exactly what we're doing yet. I'm down to one of two things. We may either do some sugar cookies with a royal icing on them, or I found this gingerbread cake with apples that looks dynamite. But I have the stuff to do both, so I guess we'll know for sure tomorrow when you tune in. Hopefully you tune in, hands down. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends. Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down, notification bell, all that good stuff. And until tomorrow when we make up a dessert, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else you love them. And love them very much. It's gonna make them feel a whole lot better. It's gonna make you feel a whole lot better to tell them, especially if you make some of this this dish and share it with them. They're gonna think you're the world's greatest cook, and it'll give you something to start a conversation with. So until tomorrow for dessert, I love you. I'll see you then. All right, bye.